Hello everyone and welcome to 18 Wheels in Destiny. How y'all doing this week? I hope y'all are keeping warm. It's been cold and I'm from Kentucky, so where I'm at, we took a big hit on the snow. We took a big hit on the snow and there was a lot of accidents and wrecks from where I'm from. But during this time the snow fell here, I was in South Carolina and delivering a load, and then I had to go to Newport, Tennessee to pick up a load, and that load fell through, so I was empty, and my dispatcher called me, and he said, Barb, find the nearest truck stop and park, because it's bad back here. And he said, you're empty, and he said, it's just really bad, a lot of wrecks, everything, and so I spent the night there, and had me a good old parking spot, which I couldn't complain, but, I hope everybody's keeping warm. I am. It's cold out. Well, right now it's raining, so it's melting a lot of the snow. And that's a good thing because it was really slick around here. But the reason I'm getting on here tonight is there's a couple of things I want to touch up on with some of the things I've already did to my face. And I want to show you all a couple of techniques that I used and what I've learned along my way in my journey to anti-aging. But what I want to talk about first is as we age, and I believe I mentioned this before in some of my other videos, we lose volume in our upper lip. And it starts to get flat and everything like that. It got to the point to where mine was so flat that you couldn't even see the filtrate in here. Where these, I call them pipes. But the filtrate in here, where my keeper's bow is, it wasn't even there. But now, see, I'm getting this all back since I've been volumizing this lip. And I want to show you how I did it. But I also told you before how you should always work from the top down. And this is true. This is very true, and this is what I'm going to show you and why. Because I'm learning as I go, and the more I learn, the more I realize and can spread word to you all by some of the mistakes that I've made. So, what I want to talk about right now is threads. And this is what I'm putting in my lip to volumize it. To bring volume out instead of it being so flat because of the volume that I've lost in it. So, but I filled this in. But guess what? And I know you could tell. It changed the dynamic of all this down here. But I had no other choice because I have lost a lot of volume in my cheeks, in my upper lip, down in here, volume was lost. So I had no other way around that but to fill first. Then I should start from the top and down. But it did change the whole dynamic of this down here. It was getting better. Yeah, it looks bad now, but let me explain. What I did, and I've already put some in here today, but I did save one because I wanted to show you how it's done and how I did it. And everything, and then I'm going to start, after I do that, I'm going to discuss this part, the marionette lines down here. So what I did, here's a thread. Here's what it looks like. And these are 30 gauge by 25 mm. So this is a very small needle. It's not a 29 gauge. The gauges of your needle, like 27 is bigger, 29 is even smaller, and then 30 is smaller than that. Then you got your 31, 32 gauge. But I got these are mono threads that I got from Lamb Derma. And they're good threads. They do lay smooth. These are not spring that I laid in one of my other videos. But these are just like one thread mono. Just a plain thread. But what I did was since these are 25 mm, that's the length of the thread itself. So underneath the stopper, see this white thing? That's what's called a stopper. Under that, there was thread hanging out. And I ended up cutting that thread underneath the stopper so I could fit it in my lip. And I'm going to show you how I did it. But when you're laying threads, you always want to do what's called bevel up. And I'm going to put my glasses on for this, y'all know. So, I found the bevel up. Now, what I'm going to do, and you don't want to go too deep with these, because in our lip, this is thin anyway, and you can risk going through the lip all the way, which I have. It's not painful, but it's just uncomfortable because you can feel it. So you want to kind of go in until you feel it pierce through the skin. Then you want to kind of lay it back a little bit, because it is a thin area in your lip. So I'm going to do that for you now to show you what I've done. Let me find that bevel again. Glasses. Okay, there's the bevel. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to pierce the skin. I felt it go in. Okay. I'm going to pull back. And see, it's just right under the skin. But you don't want to go too thin, too superficial, because you'll get what's called a Kindle effect, to where it'll look kind of purple. And then you spin it. And you pull it out. And I did clean before. I did already put alcohol on that area because I knew. But I should have did it again. So, and there's possibility of bleeding. That's normal. But but I go toward this here to kind of build structure in that area as well. Try to get as close up here. Don't go through this area, but get as close. And then you can see the structure. And what this also does, see the difference? I'm going to go back and lay another one because I also was able to raise that lip a little bit. Up through there. But I'm going to do that once I get done here on this video. I just wanted to show y'all, because I laid probably about 3 or 4 all the way up through here today. But it did change the dynamic of all this. So I'm still waiting for this to heal. I've been working with threads off and on throughout probably about past year. And what it is, there's a couple ways that you can fix all this. If you've watched my videos, you'll see where I had to pull back tight like this. But watch. In order to straighten all that out, I don't have to pull as much. So that's less I have to do there. And as I said, I'm waiting for this to heal a little bit more before I do that. What else you could do? And I have put screw threads in here to kind of pull this out. And it does good. It does a good job. I've got more threads on the way. And once I get those threads, I will do a video on how to do it underneath the jawline. I call it my nip and tuck. Because basically that's what you're doing. You could do it that way. And see the difference? But I plan to lay a few more cogs down in here before I do this and bring it out. See the difference? And what I've done was I took these as well, these same threads, and I didn't cut them. But I took this thread. I've got 4 left, so I'm just going to give you an idea of what I've done today. Now this one has already started that Genesis collagen effect sort of deal with that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build, see that line totally? I'm trying to get rid of that. So what I do is I will go in like this. And you want to be superficial with this as well. You do have a vein running through here. And if you hit it, the only thing you're going to feel is the resistance. The thread isn't going to have that slide. So what you got to do is you got to kind of find that sweet spot when you do that. I usually go couple down this way. And then toward the bottom, I'm changing directions to where it's going to push this out more. Because I want to also kind of build the collagen around here too, see? Because all this needs to be built up. And this has already started. So, just to give you an idea of what I've been doing. So, next thing I want to talk about is I'm fixing to do my Botox. Of course, YouTube don't allow us to show this. But I'm going to give you an idea of how I do it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this white, it's a white marker. It's what most doctor's offices use. But I'm going to be using Botox. But first, and excuse the glare on my glasses, y'all. I need my glasses, I do. But first, I'm going to show you how you reconstitute. I got this from Ace Cosm, and it is called Botoxin 100. It's a Botox, and it's good stuff. I've used it before, and the last time I put this in, my Botox lasted every bit of 6 months. I don't know if it's the way I've constituted it or how I lay it, because I do lay it a certain way. But the last time I laid the Botox, it did wonderful. I'm going to say it was 6-7 months ago that I put the Botox in. But what you do is, this comes in like a powder form. I don't know if you can see it. See that white ring around? That's powder. I mean, there's no liquid in it. It's powder. So what you do is, this is the Botoxin 100. With Botoxin 100, you need, this is 9% saline. So you want to take, since this is 100, this is going to require 2 ml of 9% saline. So you take your syringe, and I'm not ready because I can't show this on, I cannot show the injection and stuff on YouTube, so I'm kind of waiting to make sure I'm going to do it tonight. I plan to. But once you draw, and you'll need a needle to draw it out, of here. Unless you can get it out. But you take it down to 2 ml. And with your needle on here, of course, this top, you got to flip the top off. You just pull and just kind of flick it. You'll take the needle, just to show you, you'll take the needle, screw it on the end, and you're going to drop 2 ml of saline in this bottle. Once you get the saline in, you want to swirl it. Don't shake it. Do not shake it. You want to swirl it. Just kind of swirl it around and keep swirling it until you see it pretty much dissolve. It'll be, it start turning liquid. It's going to be a little cloudy. And then, eventually it will become clear. But I usually wait probably 30 minutes before I inject this. But you want to just kind of give it a real light swirl to it. So, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. How I'm going to market. People get mad because we're DIYers. And this is what we're passionate about. We love this. But, I went to a doctor, and I'm not knocking doctors at all. Because, everyone's different. Their anatomy, I just don't think we all had the same. Your vein may run different from mine, by so many millimeters or whatever off. But, and I'm not knocking doctors by far because they are good people. They did go to school for it. Yeah, they did. But I'm a DIYer. It's something I'm passionate about. But to continue my story, I went and I had some filler put in. And the woman, this is a reputable company close to where I live. And the product that she used, it was, I think it was maker of, I can't remember what it was, but it was Juvederm. So she tells me, well, you're going to need 2 syringes of Juvederm. You know how much 2 syringes of Juvederm cost? It's expensive. She did not give me what I wanted for number 1 with the Juvederm. Then she turned around and said I needed a 3rd one. Then she said, would you like Botox? I'm like, yeah, I'll take some Botox. So the whole total came to almost, it was $1,800. When she put the Botox in, she dropped my brow. I had to fix it myself. And we all make mistakes. I can put this Botox in and I can make a mistake very easy. But what I'm going to do is I'm marking this off. I'm going to make see all them lines up there? I'm going to try to get rid of them. What you don't want to do, right here, this is where I'm going to start my first one. Up in here. You really don't want to be low because you can get in the wrong muscle with that. So I'm going out this way. Then I'm going to come over. Okay. Put a little bit there. A little bit there. See how that's dropped? I'm wanting to raise it. I kind of want to stop right in here. Now, I'm just giving you a diagram. When you do your own, you go off what you want. What I do is I'll put it lightly just in this area. I'll probably go like 1 cc. I think that's how you word it. I'll put like 1 cc or two. And what I mean by that is I'll show you. I use these needles, and I also take that and I use these. It's a smaller needle. It really is. But I'm giving you an idea. So what I'll do is, in this area, I'm only going to use like say it's here. I'm going to put one notch, just one notch in here. The other places I'm going to use about 2. But I plan to raise the eyebrow that way. But I don't want Spock look either. So that's why you got certain places you want to put it. But that's how I do it. And I get a wonderful effect every time. And another thing that I do is when I'm injecting, I will say this, from here on, you have veins in here. I'm going to say in between this area. And they are running like this on this side. So what I do is I pick the skin up, and let's see, where'd I put that needle? Oh, it's in my hand. But I'll pick the skin up and I'll go sideways, but I'll aim down toward, like right here. I'll pick the skin up, I'll go deep in there, but I know there's a vein running this way, so what I want to do is try to go through the vein. You really have to know your anatomy, because, I mean, yeah, you could get it in that vein. I'm not telling you to do this. I don't advise anyone to do this. Anywhere over in here, I'll go up. Or I'll still slide sideways. It's what I feel comfortable with. But anytime you're using Botox, you be really cautious and use your best judgment. Study it. Study the veins that run through here, because it's worth it. It is worth it. I've studied it, and I've done it several times before, my Botox, and I do feel comfortable using it myself. I do. I feel very comfortable. And I have gotten a wonderful, a really good proportion forehead without no wrinkles. I did. And I was proud of myself the whole time. And I even lifted the brow that she gave me a Botox with. But I would advise anyone who's going to do this, my advice is don't do it. But do any of us listen? No. If we got our mind set on something, we're going to do it. Only thing I can tell you is research, research, research. There's plenty of it online. Facial veins, facial arteries, nerves, everything. Don't just jump into something that you don't know about or you're not sure about. I do I know where I stay in my area, what zone I get into. I do. So, but when I do inject, I pinch up and I'll go sideways in there. But I also know that I've got an artery running up through here, through this area. So I'm trying to stay out of it when I do inject this way, because you don't want to run the way the vein's running, because you risk filling that vein completely full of Botox. So you want like hit and miss when you do it, because you want to try to go through that vein to get on the other side, then inject it after you get to do it. You know, if you was to hit the vein, I think I would go superficial in some areas over in that area. But I've done this several times. Does that mean I'm qualified? No, it don't. It does not mean that I'm qualified to do it. Can I do it on myself? Yes. There is, I can do anything like this to myself. Can I do it to someone else? Nope. Cannot. Can I tell you what to do? Nope. Cannot. If you do it, and you do it on your own, that's your prerogative. That's your choice. Sorry about that, y'all. My phone come out of the holder. But as I was saying, do your homework before you do Botox. Don't just listen to me, because I have been doing this a while. I took my chances, and I did do a lot of studying. I have. And I got comfortable with doing my own Botox. But I wouldn't advise anyone. I do not advise anyone to do it. But if you're going to do it, study it. Do your research. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. That's all I want to say, and kind of give you an idea of how I do it. I am going to be doing this tonight. And I'll show you. See all them wrinkles there? Yeah. So I'm going to redo a video once. Now this Botulax, it does work pretty quick. It worked within like 2 days. And then after a week, I come back and I sit down and I see the spots that I should have hit. Then I'll retouch them up. This needs to be refrigerated after it's open at all times. But once it's open, you still got, I'm going to say, probably a week and a half to 2 weeks that you can use this. And I have, and it's worked for me rather well. It has, it's worked rather well. And I go back and I just touch up the stuff that I need. But as far as this all is concerned, I got more threads on the way. And I'm going to be tucking and doing some cog threads. So, see what, even just tucking underneath. And I'll show you how to do that too. But there's plenty of videos out there. There is. People can, you can watch them. And you'll see them putting threads under here. Under the chin area. But see, and, you get rid of the marionettes too that way. But I put filler in my face probably about, I'm going to say a month ago. And this filler has relaxed. It's going to, your filler's going to settle. It's going to settle. So, I got to come back and fill this. So, I'm going to do all this first. Of course, I'm going to put my Botox in. But I'm going to refill here because it has settled. But I want to do this so I'll know where I need to lay the cogs here and possibly underneath the chin, because I've done it underneath the chin and it does a wonderful job underneath the chin. So I want to get on and kind of give y'all some information that I've learned along the way, especially with filling the upper lip. And see, I also got a lip lift by staying kind of close to the vermilion border on this side. But you also got a vein running through there. So, and if you notice in my video, when I stuck it in, I moved it just a little bit above because I felt that resistance. And I just kind of went above it and drove it up there. But see what it did to my lip? It brought it up. What y'all think about that? Yeah. Well, and I'm going to get off here and I'm going to start this Botox. And my next video, I'll show you how, well the Botox worked. Or any mistakes that I feel like I made. Because I can handle, the criticism. Even, I'm my worst critic. But I will point out my own mistakes because I'm not perfect. So, hopefully you'll see these gone with my next video. Because I am going to try to pull this up for you to show how good it works, the Botulinum. So, I'm going to get off here and I'm going to finish this up. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. And I want you all to stay warm. Stay warm. Thank gosh. It's going to get up to, I think, 45 tomorrow. So, it's going to feel like a heat wave since the past 2 or 3 days. So, good night, y'all. I'm going to end this. I'm going to get started on my Botox. Y'all be safe. And hit the like button if you don't mind on your way out. Thanks. Bye.